Let's talk about daily driving the M2. So back in 2007, during my senior year of high school, I remember James Winterfield showing up in his dad's blacked out M3. That's when they were still a coupe wide tires, and as I sat in the parking lot in my Honda EX 4-cylinder Accord, I knew that I wanted to own an M car.
Oh, you got your little M3.
Pretty much I worked my butt off and I was able to buy a brand new Alpine White 2018 M2. And it has some of the carbon bits and the M exhaust and whatnot. I've had the car now for 3 years, and I initially bought it when I was living in San Francisco. Pre-pandemic, it was pretty much just a grocery getter. Initially I was commuting with the car, but then shortly after I bought it, I ended up on a tech bus or just being able to walk to work. So they say you should know your audience and cater to them. I wouldn't really consider myself a car person. So if you're a car person, this review might not be super great. If you're not a car person, this review probably isn't going to be very helpful. But I am going to cater to my main audience, my mom, who just enjoys watching me talk. Hi, Mom. First things first, I got the DCT. Let's get that out of the way. I did not get a manual. And mainly because I just didn't want to deal with driving a manual in traffic. I'm sorry. Fight me. But honestly, looking back, had I known I wasn't going to be commuting in the morning and in traffic with this car, I might have gone with the manual. I mean, don't get me wrong, the DCT is awesome. It's lightning fast, but that being said, to really enjoy it, you need to be banging through gears. And honestly, if you're trying to enjoy it on public roads, you're only going to be getting through about 1 gear before you are not doing legal things, if you know what I mean. I've always wanted an M car. I love the lines on it, but because it looks so clean, I don't want to put my anime stickers on my car and mess up the looks. Life is so hard. So the M2 is not some exotic or supercar kind of deal, but it does attract a little bit of attention. In the Bay Area, it doesn't really stick out too much. I'm at my parents in a more like rural area, so it does stick out a little bit, but the attention it can bring can be both good and bad. The more negative attention are, for some reason, aggressive drivers are somehow like focusing their energy on me more. When I'm driving my mom's SUV even faster, no one cares. But because the M2 is a little bit louder, it can attract the little weird attention. But the good intention is kind of cool. You get a bunch of young 20-year-olds asking me, why didn't you just buy a Supra? Cool things about the interior though, it's got an iPhone wireless charger that unfortunately just overheats your iPhone when it's in the cubby, and then the iPhone shuts down, and the CarPlay that is on your screen just ends up also shutting down because the phone shuts down. Blind spots. Actually, the blind spots compared to my last car, which was a Challenger, blind spots are pretty good. That being said, a huge gripe, I didn't even check this when I bought the car, I just assumed it was there. The side mirrors don't have blind spot indicators. Nope. I mean, I paid over $65,000 for the car. Why aren't there little lights that tell me if there's a car in my blind spot? I mean, hear me out. I get that it's a track car and it's not really a track feature that's needed, but why isn't there just a little button that turns it on and off? Come on, BMW. So one of the weird quirks also with all BMWs, you have to pull the lever twice to get out of the car. Pull once to unlock, pull another time to open the door. So anytime I have a new acquaintance, friend, or anyone get in the car and they try and get out of the car, they have a slight panic attack, which is kind of fun to watch, but also I feel bad. In terms of drivability, it's actually pretty good. I will admit I don't like driving during the rain, but in terms of like clearance, it's on stock suspension and it clears pretty much anything. Yeah, I do have to go slower over some bumps and humps, but for the most part, it doesn't really scrape on too much. Also, because I got the M exhaust, it comes with this cool like detonator thing that opens up a valve in the back, which just makes everything more louder, which I guess is cooler. The car is loud, especially on startup. Money, 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 money. I've had situations where there's like 2 moms with kids playing next to my car, like on the sidewalk, and I just need to move my car. And I'm just kind of waiting for them to move so that I don't like scare them. But you know, that doesn't happen. And I turn on my car and they look at me and they don't say anything, but I know exactly what they're thinking. That's such a cool car. But in terms of like what my favorite thing is about the car is an empty on-ramp. And I think we all know why. Yeah, hopefully you caught that some of this was sarcastic. I'm super grateful to have the car. There are plenty of better, other faster cars than the M2. All that being said, from a drivability daily standpoint, it's honestly like driving a fast Civic. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. What's your ideal daily driver? Either way, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.